Toronto Argonauts offense been able to run the ball for over 150 yards a game. And that's allowed Cameron Dukes to slowly get into rhythm. But if they can't run the ball, that's going to mean he's going to have to drop back and throw it 40, 50 times maybe. And can he do that? But I don't think he can right now. So it's important that the offensive line is still able to block so that running game can continue grinding it out.
Well, Mill, I'll tell you what, he has no choice. Tonight is going to be the night he's going to have to throw it. And in my opinion, I'm looking at the receivers of the Toronto Argonauts. I'm looking at DeVaris Daniels, Tommy Neal, Sandani, Polk, all these guys, Coxie. The receivers are going to have to show up for Cam Dukes because chances are there's going to be a lot of pressure.
Well, the fact that Rasheed Bailey is leading the Toronto Argonauts in receiving yards, and you're looking down, it takes forever to get to an Argonaut. But yeah, no, they've been running the ball well, and you're right. Cameron Dukes has controlled the games very well, though, but this by far his biggest test of the season. It is the best game, in my opinion, of the season so far. Hopefully it lives up to all the hype and so much more. A perfect night for football. We will get you to BMO Field right after this.
Whatever it takes, all gas, never hitting the brakes. Gotta see with the ace, you're gonna get used to my face. Whatever it takes, all gas, never hitting the brakes. Gotta see with the ace, you're gonna get used to my face. Get it, get it, get it.
In this defensive line rotation, a lot of turnover on the D-line for Toronto since last season. Dwayne Hendricks and Brandon Barlow moving on to Hamilton in free agency. Sean Oakman released after their Week 1 game.
A lot of movement on this Argos roster from 2023. Montreal, a lot of the same names back. Fajardo steps up, second and long, he'll take off and run, uses the wheels, aims for the first down marker, gets it, and then some, and steps out of bounds with another second down conversion, this time with the legs for number 7.
Yeah, and I like seeing this from Cody Fajardo, as this was a big part of his game in his breakout season, 2019 in Saskatchewan. I think injuries took the running part away from him a little bit for a couple of years, but back healthy, and you see what a threat he can be.
Had that kind of running on top of 394 passing yards last week. Got a nice mixture as this time. Quick screen to James Letcher Jr. and tried to run a little tunnel screen, but great rallying by the Argonauts defense limits the gain to about 2.
This is a challenge when you have a player like James Letcher, is you want to put together a package to get the ball in his hands, let him go to work, use the skills that have made him such a dynamic kick returner. But the fact is, every time he comes on the field on offense, everybody on the defense is keying on him, anticipating exactly what just happened. They tried a little misdirection there. Toronto wasn't buying it.
Gave him a reverse last week against Ottawa. That's just his second catch of the season. Off the field here is Fajardo. Sets his feet, looks over the middle, open. Catching and running. Tyson Philpott cutting back. Touchdown, Alouettes. Immediate answer, and who else? Tyson Philpott, his 4th touchdown of the season already.
Yeah, Tyson Philpott continues his hot start, and it looked like a defender blew a tire here. You're going to see Philpott come left to right on your screen. He'll first appear on that left edge. And you saw the defender falling down just behind him, trying to trail him. That leaves him wide open. Easy bit of pitch and catch for Cody Fajardo for the touchdown.
Almost identical to so many University of Calgary highlights of both Jalen and Tyson. Catching the ball over the middle and running away from everybody in Canada West. Now he's doing it in the CFL in a battle of undefeated. Coming into tonight, 27 targets, 23 catches. He catches 85% of the stuff you throw at him. No wonder Cody Fajardo loves him so much.
And there's the man of the moment, Tyson Philpott, continuing his terrific season. He's a one receiver, so lead man in that 2-person cluster to the top. The defenders don't switch it. Leonard Johnson looks like he gets a decent jam on him, but loses his footing coming off of that contact. That leaves Philpott wide open, coming underneath. Cody Fajardo finds him and quick 6 is off to the races.
It's the little things that Tyson does in his route running. We saw that on the game winner in the Grey Cup, right? Straighten up, snap across the like he's so sound. He does all these little technical things so well. And you just go, why is he always open? Well, because he does so many of those things so well. Once again, into the end zone. It's the Argonauts return going back across the field. It's 24 on 24. Marc-Antoine Duclaw against McMahon, and the ball gets ripped out. And who tapped it last? Did McMahon get his hands back on it? Duclaw refused to get beat around the edge. Classic battle that time for Marc-Antoine Duclaw, showing the grit to chase it down wide field as they left him as the contain man on the backside all by himself, and that's why.
As this play was unfolding, I found myself wishing that the field was more than 65 yards wide, because I was loving the race between McMahon and Duclaw, wondering who was going to win that one. Two of the fastest guys on any field. And good awareness by Duclaw as he first had the hands up top of the shoulder pads. Didn't want to risk that horse collar penalty, so he gets the hands down, goes for the football. This is a guy responsible for the most takeaways in the league over the course of the last couple of seasons. Very nearly had another one there.
Leading into the Ottawa game last week, we were talking to Alonzo Adai, talented free safety for the Red Blacks. He said, I just like watching that guy. He's just constantly taking the football away. That's what we all want to do. Something to aspire to here as Duclaw lines up at free safety now. Into the short side of the field. They'll empty it out for Cameron Dukes. Go with a quick screen and trying to track it down from behind. As the defensive line is once again Duclaw, one of the true stars of the Canadian Football League. Of course, the great Grey Cup performance and speech afterwards, but he is so much more than a single game. He's been doing it for a while now. Yeah,
he really has become a leader for this football team in terms of his words and very clearly his actions. One of the most impactful defenders in the CFL from his free safety spot. Former University of Montreal Carabin.
As you said, aside from the play, he's just fun to watch. He is everywhere as Dukes digs in now on second down, looks to go and run, takes off, cuts back, and runs away wisely from Darnell Sankey before sliding down and picking up a first down with his feet, just like his counterpart Fajardo a minute ago.
And in your perfect world, if you're Toronto, obviously you don't want your starting quarterback taking a ton of hits, but much of the edict for Cameron Dukes is take what you're given, and sometimes what you're given is going to involve using your legs. He's doing a good job of that. I think Ryan Dinwiddie is going to like this decision-making from his QB. Don't force a pass when there's another way to get a first down.
Dinwiddie said some might throw it better, some might run it better, but he's got it between the ears as good as anybody in the CFL. As now Dukes showing that off once again, just deciding not to lose the play as he flips that into the turf. Incomplete. As in behind the play, Peter Nicastro and Mustafa Johnson get tangled up, but no flags come out. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, again, that battle in the interior, but I'll go back to the point about decision making from Cameron Dukes. No interceptions through his first 2 starts of this season versus 5 touchdown passes. There you see, found himself in an awkward spot. Didn't risk the loss of yards, didn't want to force the pass and risk a turnover. Just gets rid of the football and lives to fight another down.
Pressure coming off the edge here, late blitz and picked up by the running back right there. Kadeem Carey got it and allowed the football to get out on 2nd and 10. What a blitz pickup, and immediately Dukes goes to congratulate Kadeem Carey for seeing the pressure off the edge.
Yeah, you're going to see Carey get across on this one as the blitz comes from second level off the edge. Bryce Cosby, the nickel linebacker. Kadeem Carey, veteran guy. Great recognition, great reaction. Make a play, Richie Sindani with the catch to move the sticks.
4 receivers to the left, they'll run that direction. Inside zone this time, Carey gets rewarded for his blitz pickup by being able to get what looks like a first down. Very close to it, or nope, they'll say it's just shy.
Once again, offensive line sealing the corner. Carey, primarily a downhill guy. You expect to see him getting it done between the tackles. Doing a good job on the perimeter as well, as he's going to go off for a quick blow.
As Duke stays in, quickly gets the first down there on 2nd and short. So Deonta McMahon checks into the game alongside Mackay Polk. Fitting in nicely is American receiver. Bit of depth in this receiving core. They've shown off in a 2-0 start. 11-game home win streak in the regular season for the Toronto Argonauts here at BMO Field. Cameron Dukes again, plenty of time, checks it down underneath, and that one misses high, incomplete.
Yeah, sailed on him a little bit as check down guy DeMonte Coxie. It looked almost as if Dukes was contemplating throwing this one to the corner route a little bit deeper to Mackay Polk on that side, and then maybe second guessed himself, kind of put the ball in between.
Second and 10. Argos third best in the CFL right now. 40% of converting this down in distance as pressure comes. Getting it out of his hands cleanly once again into the speedy McMahon, and he splits the tacklers and picks up the first down before Marc-Antoine Dequoy brings him down.
Yeah, Deonta McMahon has the Argos' longest run of this season so far, reeled off a 40-yarder last week.
Sankey and Beverett there. We don't say that very often. It's incomplete, and Beverett on cue whacks Cameron Dukes in the backfield. Incomplete once again. That completion percentage is taking a hit on this drive.
Yeah.
A smart throwaway, a couple of knockdowns.
Tough to keep up, 81%. You're going to see Beverett coming from the left side, gets a piece of the QB there. Monster game for him last week. I think he touched every defensive statistical category.
That stuffer extraordinaire, Tyrese Beverett. Now second and 10. Dukes, pressure on, steps away, gets it out of his hands again. His fifth completion of the night. And just inside the 10-yard line. And we'll see now what the Argonauts do with play number 11 of this drive.
Well, could even carry a check back into the backfield for Deonta McMahon. And again, helping pick up the blitz. Allowing Dukes to step up and get the completion.
He led all the CFL with 19 carries and 100 yards last week. Pass protection, what he's doing right now is they'll at least line up on third down, and a flag comes out. Everyone's going to play the pointing fingers game. And it looked like it might have been the left side of the Argos offensive line.
Toronto's fixed a lot of shit in our games lately. That was clearly necessary. Reference the quarterback face mask. I didn't want to waste my challenge on it this early. But
bottom left.
In Toronto, please.
It's your left guard, Ryan Hunter. You see him move early. You know, fans react to the call, but I'm not convinced that 3rd and 4 that the Argos were really looking to run an offensive play there.
Backs them up, if you want to say. 3rd and 9 here at the end of the first quarter. Is Hyrallahu out for another attempt? And he knocks that through cleanly. And down by just 1 now, as that is the end of the first quarter here in Toronto. The Alouettes coming in with a high-flying passing attack. They get back to it once again with Tyson Philpott into the end zone. A close one. We expect it will be throughout the game. Second quarter coming up right after this. season and almost mirror images of each other.
Yeah, they really are. Montreal maybe going to the big play in the air more frequently than Toronto has thus far, and that's not a reflection of desire or ability to run the ball, but I think the matter of having more experience in the quarterback position in Cody Fajardo.
Yeah, this week, Ryan Dinwiddie, the one thing that he wants to see Cam Dukes start to do better, he just said, well, we got to start pushing the football at some point, and I think he's looking at this guy right here, Cody Fajardo, and saying, if they're doing it, we got to play catch-up, make sure we can take those shots as well. But for now, it's 2nd and inches. As Fajardo takes the snap, whistles blow.
Timeout, Toronto.
And Moss had that look of, we didn't just take a time count, did we? It's 2nd and inches. He was about ready to light a fire under somebody, and Ryan Dinwiddie calls the timeout, but he's standing there slightly confused as well.
The officials look to get things sorted out here.
Dinwiddie almost looks like he's saying that I didn't call a timeout. Did one of my guys call timeout, like on the field, because they didn't think we had the right people in? And so we go back to 2nd and inches. Fajardo once again digs in. Staring down Winton McManus right across the line. The big body of Fajardo drives the legs and gets just enough steam for an Alouettes first down.
Yeah, so often it's Caleb Evans coming in short yardage situations for the Alouettes. Cody Fajardo staying on in this one, a role that he, of course, filled earlier in his career, so comfortable in that situation.
Doing that under. Ricky Ray honored at halftime coming up. All-time Argonaut. Fajardo pumps, loads it up, checks it down underneath. It's Cole Speaker getting a first down as Fajardo goes from 1 to 2 to 3. Wanted the home run and got off it just in time to find Speaker.
Yeah, again, things going off script. You get the check down. Watch Speaker on the left side of your screen for securing things in terms of the protection. Nobody comes. He's able to leak out. To be there underneath for Fajardo. The offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and general CFL legend, Anthony Calvillo, up above for the Owls.
On the play in here for Fajardo. Goes quick screen. Keon Julian Grant trying to get through the window. It's a decent catch and run that time. Picked up by Tyson Philpott. At the end of the play, as those two told us this week, they're just kind of continuing to take their turns. Whoever's hot will ride the hot hand and just keep cheering each other on.
Yeah, that's it. And I think there are going to be a lot of times when these guys are both hot.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, last week being one of them.
As the Keon Julian Grant fan section, 60 tickets deep, with mom cheering on. Here in attendance tonight. 2nd and 4. 5-man rush. Fajardo gets it out. Wide side flags come up. It is completed. It's Rambo making the grab that time. Charleston Rambo out of the University of Miami, but the flags look like they might send it back.
Illegal block, hands to the face. Toronto, number 92. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it goes against the Argonauts, Deontay Knight.
There you see Knight lined up on the nose. Yeah, hands clearly riding up in the face mask of Justin Lawrence.
That's the gift that Justin gets for his 50th career start.
Yes.
Here tonight, playing center for the Alouettes.
Yeah, former Calgary Stampeder and Toronto Argonaut. University of Alberta Golden Bears product under Chris Morris.
They load up the boundary this time. Fajardo, quick little bootleg, flips it over the top. KJG gets the rock and gets to the 30-yard line here for a gain of 6.
Another short one to Julian Grant. Cody knows the hit's coming. Derek Parrish gets a piece of him on this one. Fajardo getting rid of the ball just in time. Julian Grant does the rest. Looked like he was thinking of going airborne there.
And that personnel grouping has to make you happy because there's 3 fullbacks.
You never have too many fullbacks, Marshall.
Dressed here tonight for the Alouettes. They had 2 of them in that time. Jacob Mason and Devin Dallaire. As Fajardo now on 2nd down and 4. Deep drop. Gets it out once again. And it is incomplete. Great play. Coming over the top that time from his corner spot. And you mentioned him off the top, just like Coach Parker did back in studio. Benji Franklin. Great reach, length. And that time physicality knocking it away.
Yeah, and you're going to see Cody Fajardo takes another shot here as he releases this ball. Jared Brinkman introducing himself to the Grey Cup winning quarterback.
Come on, 15! Fucking strip!
Big strip there from the Argo DB.
And if that felt strange, it's because it's Cody Fajardo's first incompletion. 11 of 12 to start this football game. David Cote sends this one away and knocks it through the uprights. So Montreal extends their lead now 10-6 in a back-and-forth battle. The only major so far, Tyson Philpott with a great catch and run in the first quarter, but otherwise all field goals as these teams feeling each other out in a battle of undefeateds in the East.
Well, there you see a smooth operation from the Montreal Alouettes. Punter Jonathan Zima with the hold. David Cote with the kick.
Felt a little bit for Stefan Flintoff last night. A couple of high snaps coming up in that BC Lions game. He was putting in work as the holder. You like when those operations are status quo.
Uneventful.
Inside run this time. Darnell Sankey waiting right in the hole. And he'll add another tackle to his season tally and says hello at the end of the play to Kadeem Carey.
Yeah, a couple former Calgary Stampeders. Sankey and Carey now finding themselves over in the East and on opposite sides of a pretty good battle. Budding rivalry here between 2 teams that met in last year's East Division final.
Dukes hands it off, cutting back again against the grain on 2nd down and 5. And they will be short by a yard or 2 is Jeffrey Canton Arku. Rookie draft pick right there.
And you see the Alouettes loading up right at the line of scrimmage.
Toronto will go for it here. 3rd and short from their own end. They keep Dukes in. He rolls his way forward. Dylan Wynn looked like he might have been the first to have contact. This Alouettes defense that continues to be as stout as any in the Canadian Football League gives up the first down here.
Yeah, and this is one of those short yardage plays that feels like you just run and lean against your offensive line until you hit a soft spot. And force your way forward.
Ugh. Quarterback's nightmare, though, at 6'1", 205 to straighten up and see Darnell Sankey waiting right there.
Yeah, that's not the soft spot.
Dukes this time hands it off. Now to the outside as the Argos get their running game going. But once again, it's Sankey there. He is absolutely inevitable when it comes to the running game. You might get 6, you might get 8, but number 1 will be there waiting for you at some point.
Yeah, pretty good duel between 2 veteran players. Sankey showing his range, tracks this one a long way. So many people talk about Sankey's size, bigger linebacker by CFL standards. You think of him as a guy plug in the middle, lower in the boom, but he can move a little bit in there too.
Last play before the 3-minute warning here. As Dukes looks to throw, free rusher off the backside, and it is a sack. Jeffrey Canton Arku brings down Cameron us to the 3-minute warning. Big play coming off the blind side. Dukes did well just to hold on to it. We'll see whether or not Montreal can do anything with the football when we return.
Coming up at half, it's some of your favorite analysts in the country. Enoch Mwamba, Jim Barker, Milt Stegall, and whoop, whoop.
That's the sound of the police.
Whoop, whoop.
That's the sound of the police.
Do you like the segment, Lapo?
Love it.
Oh, Labo got the cheap seats. Down there on the edge. That's okay. We'll see you soon, Labo. Argonauts kick this one away. Haggerty. High winding boot that drops down inside the 15. Letcher's got something to work with here. Room on the outside. He's got the angle. Cuts it back. Makes another man miss. Now turns on the speed and across the 55. Great field position for the Montreal Alouettes, who have the best starting field position in the CFL through their first 3 games, averaging their own 41. This is better than that.
Yeah, Letcher getting out to the wide field. He can take advantage of his speed. Alouettes do a nice job setting up the wall to get him there. He just kind of floated on air as he cut that one back once he hit the sideline.
He was confused with this right here.
Oh, me?
No doubt.
I know you don't want that.
A little confusion being noticed there by Noel Thorpe, showing his defensive backs as here's the interception, Wayne.
Yeah, looking for the inside receiver there. Tavares Daniels' ball sails a little bit into the waiting hands of Deontay Ruffin. We talked earlier about Montreal trying to get Dukes out of his comfort zone, and they did.
Jardo slings this one incomplete on first down. First interception of the season for Cameron Dukes.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of, as time becomes the enemy, desperation forcing Dukes to throw the ball deeper. As we take a look at Cody Fajardo taking a shot here. Robbie Smith beats the block of fullback David Dallaire. Fajardo's taken a few shots tonight, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt. Goes to the point of how good quarterback play has been in the CFL to start this season. Week 4, Fajardo just threw his second interception. Dukes is first. Fajardo over the middle, complete. Reggie White catches it at the 5, cuts back, leans to the end zone. And what will they say? No signal. Cody Fajardo over the middle of the field. Same look as when he caught Tyson Philpott with a touchdown earlier on, and they'll spot it at the 1.
Yeah, working towards the middle. Reggie White, who had those 2 touchdowns in his triumphant return to the field last week, very nearly adds his 3rd of the season, but you see his knees down before that ball crosses the front plane of the goal line.
Tyshawn Blackburn alongside Royce Mechie, couple Canadians racking up. Reggie that time just shy of the goal line, so the heavies come out here, including Mustafa Johnson. For the offensive huddle of the Alouettes, full speaker splits out to the top of your screen. As Johnson looks like went to the wrong side. Tyson Philpott waves him back. Caleb Evans in at quarterback, leads his way forward to that left-hand side, and no push up front. 2nd down and goal.
Another one where he's sliding, trying to find a soft spot to get north-south, but the Toronto D just flattens out that offensive line in a hurry.
Quinton McManus staring it down on the other side, just like Darnell Sankey has been all night for the Montreal Alouettes defense. As McManus, one of the very best all-around linebackers in the Canadian Football League. The lone man who will read the play from about 2 yards depth off the ball. Evans digs in, slides to the left-hand side. Touchdown, Alouettes.
We just talked about this last night. Right. Why you so close to my dog? Out of here, man.
And you'll see McManus is the linebacker. He's picking a spot, trying to go over the top to get Caleb Evans. Evans ducks underneath him as he slides left. This time there is a soft spot. He finds it en route to the end zone.
Handshakes all around for the Alouettes offense as they get set to have 30 points once again here on the evening. 2.3 coming into the ball game. So despite the fact that they took all those checkdowns early on, Fajardo had all the high completion percentage he could get. They look like they're still on pace for the number that they have been hitting
you see points off turnover for the Montreal Alouettes. Caleb Evans finishing off that abbreviated drive.
Last Thursday, we were in Montreal for their home opener, of course, celebrating the Grey Cup. Shot of Anthony Calvillo. We talked about the high completion percentage for Cody Fajardo and the impact Calvillo has had. Well, how about this? This will be the first Alouettes 4-0 start since 2009.
Here you go, a Grey Cup season.
Fajardo's jersey signals that his night might be done. A lot of grass stains on that thing here in Toronto. Rote sends it away, and this one again gets away from Adam Aboye. Janarian Grant back there, and now even more trouble, and down at the 5-yard line. What a mess in the kick return department that time for the Argonauts specials.
Yeah, tough situation to be in, down 18. Adam Aboye, the returner on the right. Like he might have lost it in the lights there for a second, just misjudged the trajectory of that ball coming in. Then in the panic to pick it up, had a little bit of trouble. The Argos find themselves 104 yards away from the opposition goal line.
Who's trying to bounce back from the earlier interception, now holding on to the football, finally decides to check it down. Quality couple of yards after the catch that time. Go to Kadeem Carey. We said earlier, it's hard to imagine that he just kind of fell into the waiting arms of the Argonauts. Said he only had 2 teams